Greetings friends! I'm glad to see you on my channel. This is the first video on this channel, so I ask you to support my project and help build a very cool community. In general, if you love games and everything related to them, then this channel is definitely for you. Subscribe and get a lot of quality content with gaming news. Well, I think we can start our first issue of gaming news, so let's go. After a 10-year wait between titles, the next game in the Dragon Age franchise crosses another milestone. A decade can seem like an eternity in the video game industry, and especially for fans who are eagerly awaiting the next game in a franchise. EA and BioWare released Dragon Age Inquisition in November 2014, and it's taken almost 10 years to finally release a follow-up. But now, Dragon Age, the Veilguard has gone gold, and that means the discs are finally being pressed before they get shipped to stores. BioWare made the announcement via the official X account for Dragon Age, which playfully placed gold discs over the eyes of a skeleton. The Veilguard takes place a decade after Inquisition, which mirrors the length of time between the two games. From what we've seen so far, things have gotten progressively worse on Thetis since the events of Inquisition. The player character Rook is tasked with finding new allies as they attempt to save the world. One of the more recent previews featured Rook's party in an epic battle with a dragon, as well as a showdown with their mortal enemy, Gillen Nain. Dragon Age, the Veilguard will hit Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and PC on October 31st. Peter Stormare is back in the role of the Replacer in Activision's new Call of Duty marketing campaign. With just a few more weeks to go before Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launches on October 25th, Activision's marketing machine is ramping up. A new campaign began today, September 29th, bringing back the character The Replacer, played by Peter Stormare. For anyone just catching up, the conceit of the ads is that the Replacer is the person sent in to replace the person who took a day off their job to play Call of Duty instead. Stormare's The Replacer debuted in 2013 and has been a mainstay for Activision's Black Ops marketing campaigns over the years. The first, in a series of commercials for Black Ops 6 featuring The Replacer, went live today during Sunday's NFL game lineup. This is just the first of many commercials on the way, as Activision said it has put together almost 30 videos that will roll out now until the game releases. Activision teased that some notable names will be replaced during this latest ad campaign, but didn't offer any other specifics. The new spot is pretty absurd, as The Replacer subs in for a firefighter saving a cat from a tree, a rideshare driver, and even a father at family dinner, along with a spicy conversation with the mom. Even the Pope plays Call of Duty, it seems, as the Replacer takes over his job as well for a day. Black Ops 6 launches on October 25th, and unlike past years, there is no early access to the campaign. In another big change, Black Ops 6 will be available on Game Pass at launch, but only for the most expensive tiers of the service. Halo Infinite fans are understandably polarized by the third-person mode, with some expressing excitement about the novel feature and pledging to return to the game when 343 makes it available. Meanwhile, detractors argue that the third-person mode makes Halo Infinite look like Fortnite and isn't the best use of the studio's resources. While this argument can be stretched out endlessly, the new mode is at least good news for players who have been requesting a third-person perspective for a long time. 343's tweet didn't reveal a lot of details, but did confirm that Halo Infinite's third-person mode will debut in November 2024. One may stand on Halo Infinite's upcoming perspective change. It still shows that 343 is willing to venture into uncharted waters for the Halo franchise. With the next mainline Halo game currently in development at 343, it remains to be seen whether the studio plans to experiment with similarly novel ideas for the campaign, or stick to the tried-and-true first-person perspective. Fans of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 will have more to look forward to in a matter of weeks, thanks to a major upcoming update. Saber Interactive teased the next round of new content for Space Marine 2 in a post addressed to the community. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 is already a major hit, breaking sales milestones and establishing itself as arguably the most popular Warhammer 40,000 video game to date. Developer Saber Interactive is well aware of that fact, and acting to solidify Space Marine 2's reputation with fans by promising regular updates and new content. Just a week ago, the third major Space Marine 2 update brought with it a number of improvements for online multiplayer, as well as tweaks to balance both in PvP and PvE gameplay. Saber Interactive isn't done with the game yet, though. In a new community update posted to the Space Marine 2 official website and via the game's Steam store page, the studio teased a number of new additions coming in October 2024, including a new map for the Space Marine 2 Operations mode. Operations are cooperative multiplayer missions that pit a squad of 3 Space Marines against hordes of enemies in pursuit of varied mission objectives. Saber Interactive's post teased a bit of detail regarding the upcoming Space Marine 2 Operations mode map. The map will be located on the forested planet of Kadaku, a world almost completely conquered by the Tyranid swarm. Players will take on the role of Space Marines sent to aid the Cadian Astra Militarum regiments still holding the planet and make the inevitable Tyranid victory on Kadaku as painful as possible. The post also included a screenshot of Kadaku showing a corrupted forest overgrown with fleshy Tyranid structures, with the alien capillary towers rising in the distance. In addition to the new Operation tease, the Space Marine 2 community update also promised a free 4K texture pack DLC for PC players with powerful hardware to take advantage of, hotfixes to address issues with crashes, and additional Space Marine 2 armor customization features like new color options for helmet lenses. All in all, the new Operation and additions appear to coincide somewhat with Season 2 on Saber Interactive's Space Marine 2 roadmap. Also listed on the roadmap are teases for a new lethal difficulty level, a Neo-Volkite pistol weapon, and a new enemy. The roadmap does not list when the updates will launch, but given the timing of the new Operation update, it may be safe to assume that they will launch in October. Saber Interactive appears to be taking the right steps to cement Space Marine 2, and the Space Marine series as a whole into a new pillar of Warhammer 40,000 game adaptations. With consistent support, it could become a staple of online action games moving forward. Players have been flocking to Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC in anticipation of Sucker Punch Productions' Ghost of Yotei. Despite the new game shedding away protagonist Jim Sakai, Ghost of Tsushima has experienced a significant increase in player count. Ghost of Tsushima was released in 2020 on the PlayStation 4 and on the PlayStation 5 in 2021. Players take on the role of Jin in 13th century Japan as he seeks to defeat the Mongol invaders who destroyed his home. Despite Jin's importance in Tsushima, the second installment in the franchise, titled Ghost of Yotei, features a new heroine named Atsu, and will take place in the Hokkaido prefecture of Japan. Ghost of Yotei takes place 300 years after its predecessor. Several differences have already been revealed, including new weapons and firearms and a new instrument for Atsu. Players are also expected to have more control over Atsu's choices than in the previous game. Another departure from Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei, allows Atsu to dual-wield weapons. It feels like the developer intends to deliver an entirely new game that maintains Ghost of Tsushima's core elements. This isn't the first time that Ghost of Tsushima has shot up in player count this year. In fact, Ghost of Tsushima was among the top 20 best-selling games of July 2024. Hopefully, the hype will remain while fans eagerly await the release of Ghost of Yotei. Ubisoft Quebec, developer of Assassin's Creed Shadows, is reportedly planning to add a co-op mode to the game once it's released. The next big mainline RPG-style entry in the franchise, Assassin's Creed Shadows brings players to 1500s Japan and tells the stories of 2 playable protagonists, Naoe and Yasuke. The former is a shinobi who will allow players to use a range of stealth options to tackle their goals, while Yasuke is a towering samurai, giving players the option to charge head-on into brutal open combat. Originally due out on November 15th, Ubisoft recently announced that Assassin's Creed Shadows has seen an unfortunate delay to February 14th. The nearly 3-month delay disappointed many who were excited to get their hands on Shadows this fall, as it seemed all but certain the game would hit its release date, with Ubisoft set to show face at Tokyo Game Show last month. Now, Ubisoft's Japan-set Assassin's Creed title is set to release in the same month as Xbox's avowed Capcom's Monster Hunter Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and a handful of other major 8AA titles, making for what's sure to be an ultra-competitive month for these games. The last Assassin's Creed game to heavily feature co-op was 2014's French Revolution set Assassin's Creed Unity, which allowed for up to 4 players to join up. Despite seemingly only hosting 2 players, Assassin's Creed Shadows co-op could be very interesting with how different both Naoe and Yasuke play. According to what Ubisoft has shown of the game, Yasuke isn't very capable of stealth, and Naoe isn't as strong in open combat, so players will need to work together to come up with strategies for how to tackle certain areas. This will also be the first big RPG-style Assassin's Creed game to have co-op, so it'll be interesting to see how this exciting new experience could play out. A new rumor alleges that an Until Dawn sequel could be in the works. Interest in the narrative horror franchise has been somewhat reinvigorated by the upcoming Until Dawn remake, and it seems Sony might have plans to further expand it in the future. First launched in 2015 and originally developed by Supermassive Games, Until Dawn is a choice-led narrative horror game that gained favorability for its slasher film inspirations and branching storylines. The Until Dawn IP is owned by Sony, and was handed off to developer Ballistic Moon to develop a remake of the 2015 game for PS5 and PC. The choice struck some PlayStation fans as odd, who speculated that the remake may be a sign of more Until Dawn in the future. The upcoming Until Dawn film adaptation lends further credence to this theory. A more recent Firesprite job listing discovered by MP First further details that the studio's horror game is based on an established IP. Since Sony doesn't have a lot of horror IPs under its belt, a simple process of elimination makes it quite likely that Firesprite's mystery horror project is indeed Until Dawn 2. As likely as they seem though, rumors like these should always be taken with a grain of salt. Reports of Until Dawn 2 being in development date as far back as 2018, so fans are advised to temper expectations until Sony and Firesprite break their silence. Given the market conditions, it wouldn't come as a surprise if Sony is looking to popularize a horror franchise of its own with Until Dawn. Capcom's Resident Evil series has never been more popular, Remedy's Alan Wake 2 resonated exceptionally with critics and fans, and even Konami is reviving Silent Hill with multiple future projects. The horror genre seems poised for continued growth in the coming years, and Sony could very well use Until Dawn to secure a piece of the pie. Red Dead Online has unveiled its plans for October 2024, giving players some new activities to partake in, as well as reintroducing numerous special seasonal events. Red Dead Online players can also get free and discounted gear throughout the month. Red Dead Online hasn't received as much attention from Rockstar Games as Grand Theft Auto Online, but there's still a lot of content for players to partake in. While Red Dead Online is no longer receiving major content updates, the game still receives a few smaller additions from time to time and celebrates the spooky season every October. For October 2024, Red Dead Online is introducing 3 new bodyguard telegram missions. Players will be tasked with escorting a driver and client, guarding a resident during a night out, and looking after a new hunter so they don't get mauled or taken out by poachers. In celebration of their addition, players will be able to earn 2 times RDO dollars, gold, and XP on all Telegram missions until November 4th. Other activities will also offer bonuses for completion, including 2 times RDO dollars, gold, XP, and ability card XP in All Hallows Call to Arms, and 2 times RDO dollars, XP, and roll XP in Moonshiner Story missions and sales, and 2 XRDO dollars and XP for the featured series. In addition, players can get several bonuses for logging in and partaking in certain activities. Completing a Moonshiner sale through November 4th will net players a Morales vest, while destroying a Revenue Agent blockade will reward players with 30 Repeater Express ammo and 1 Moonshine Mash refill. Winning any featured series will give players a 50% discount on any weapon. Logging in during October will gift players an orange Porter jacket, while logging in between October 29th and November 4th will reward players with a free black Fullwell hat. Red Dead Online is also repeating the Halloween Pass 2 through November 4th. Those who purchased Halloween Pass 2 previously can continue where they left off through November 4th. Unfortunately, no new Halloween Pass nor any other brand new content has been announced. However, players should be able to find a good amount of things to keep them busy in Red Dead Online this October if they're looking for spooky times in the Old West. That's it. I hope you liked everything. If so, please support the channel by subscribing and liking this video. And don't forget to leave comments. I will definitely read everything because it is very important to support the channel now so that the content can improve. Thank you all for watching and see you soon.